Hi guys, have you been trying to learn about doing photos and getting the well exposed photo that is good for you? So today we're gonna dive in depth about exposure and the elements that are involved in exposing your photos, which is ISO, aperture and shutter speed. Yes, so let's jump into it. So what is exposure? Exposure is basically allowing just enough light to get to your sensor when you're taking a photograph. So when we are taking a photograph, it's basically light that is interacting with the sensor. What happens is you may have a perfectly lit photo, that's called a well exposed photo. We have overexposed photo, and then we have underexposed photo. So all these are found in exposure, of which they tend to create different moods when telling a story. So basically, when you want to show a moody feel, you may tend to underexpose your image so that you tend to create a mood in it. Basically, when you're doing black and white, you tend to overexpose your photo so that you have a little bit more details on the shadows. For example, I did this photo, you'll see. Then you see this photo tends to have detail that it's still black and white, but there's a mood to it. So you can create moods tending to exposure. So what is exposure? Exposure is the amount of light you allow to interact with the sensor while taking your photos. So basically, when you tend to expose you tend to allow more light, that's called overexposure. And when you tend to allow minimal light towards the sensor, that's called underexposing. But these two factors tend to create more moods when you're taking photos or even videos. So it's more of your feel to it, because there are some photographers who tend to overexpose their photos so that even during editing they underexpose a little bit so that they're able to get the right amount. And there are other photographers who tend to underexpose to create that intimate moody feel. There's a mood tend to it, of which it creates an emotional attachment because of exposing. So in the next video we'll be jumping in depth about the aperture, shutter speed and ISO. So watch the next episodes and you'll be able to learn more in depth about exposure. So thumbs up, thank you, subscribe.